everyone, and welcome to the Icehouse podcast. My name is Bryar Stewart. I'm the community manager at the Icehouse, and today we're chatting to Jamie Brock, who is our Bay of Plenty regional lead. He's on team at the Icehouse, which is really cool. He's a coach and the program director based in Tauranga. So thanks, Jamie. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Bryar. Nice to be here.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to learning a bit more about what you do and also what's happening in the awesome Bay of Plenty. But I thought we would kick off with some quick fire questions to get to know you. So the first one is, how do you take your morning coffee? What is your coffee order, pretty much?
Flat white, no sugar.
Yeah, great. Standard milk?
Yeah.
That is a good order. Nice. Morning or night person?
Definitely morning.
Yeah, cool. Favorite meal?
Probably anything spicy.
Oh, okay. Nice. Spicy. Opposite to me. Favorite place in the world?
Probably not one place, but somewhere warm with a beach.
Yeah.
So maybe Sri Lanka or Indonesia.
Cool. Really cool. Summer or winter?
Definitely summer.
Yeah, you gave that one away, which is cool. And a hobby that you enjoy?
Lots, but I'll say diving, fishing, surfing, kind of anything to do with the ocean.
Awesome. Cool. And this is an interesting one, but what's your middle name?
It's not very interesting. Michael.
Michael, nice. Oh, good. I've got some interesting answers. Michael's nice down the road one, so that's good. Now to the juicy stuff, to the good stuff. Our first question is, give us insight into your career to date and how you ended up working for the Icehouse.
So I guess after uni, I spent my first 10 years working in small businesses. I founded a really small business down in Dunedin after the University of Otago, which is called Extreme NZ. Effectively a marketing business with both a retail brand and also we worked in the events area. I owned that for about, I think 7 years and then sold it and headed away to the UK on my OE where I actually started work in the tech sector and started working in a streaming media business, long before the days of Netflix and ubiquitous broadband and all those sort of things.
Awesome.
Yeah, really kind of cutting edge, really leveraging the internet to show businesses how you could do something that was different for their business.
Cool.
Then returning to New Zealand, I guess I'd had 10 years working in small business and sort of went about trying to get a job with a larger business and had some amazing roles over the next 15 years in the tech sector, mainly sales and marketing roles, working for companies like Spark, Geni and 2 Degrees.
Awesome.
And then about 3 years ago, I got a bit tired of all the traveling and I was keen to spend time with more time with my family. My girls were growing up and so I went out on my own doing advisory and consulting work for some local businesses.
Awesome.
And then along the way, I got referred to Andy Hamilton by Craig Hudson, who was the CEO of Xero, and talked about how they were looking to establish the Icehouse in the region. And a few months later, I joined the Icehouse in the Bay of Plenty.
Cool. Awesome. That's great. That's a really cool rundown. Thank you. And what's your role at the Icehouse? I know it has a lot of elements, a lot of hats you definitely wear. So what does your role look like?
So I lead the Icehouse in the Bay of Plenty region, which obviously includes Tauranga, where my office is, but also the Eastern Bay of Plenty, Rotorua and Taupo.
Awesome.
And I'm also working with several clients in the sort of Waikato and Taranaki regions. My main sort of responsibility has been the establishment of the Icehouse in the region since 2019.
Yeah, great.
So I support alumni businesses of the Icehouse in the region. I work with stakeholders and partners like the BNZ. I've formed an Icehouse advisory board in the region to support the establishment.
Awesome, that's great.
But I probably spend the majority of my time actually working and advising and coaching small businesses across the region who are using the Icehouse to really help take their businesses to its next stage, whatever that might be. So that's kind of where I spend the majority of my time.
Awesome, great, so cool. There's some pretty amazing businesses in that Bay of Plenty area for sure. Some really cool entrepreneurs and and some young ones too, which we'll get to soon. But it's really cool that the Icehouse is based there and working with those business owners. So thanks for leading the charge there. So Bay of Plenty has 3 key offerings that we have. So we've got coaching, we've got the business owner program, and the young business owner program. How do these offerings all come about, and what needs do they fill? It's a big question. So
Yeah, it is. But coaching's fairly explanatory.
Yeah.
One-on-one engagement, with clients working with an Icehouse coach. In this case, it's me. And I guess since establishing the Icehouse in the region, coaching's been growing really steadily.
Awesome.
Coaching's different to consulting. It's a shared engagement, lots of discussion, lots of questions between the coach and the business owners about where they are today, where they're trying to get to, identifying the things that will have the biggest impact on their business. And then I guess, trying to help create plans with those business owners and holding them accountable for going off and doing what they said they'd do. So
that's a key piece, the holding accountable, right? Yeah, making sure they get it done. Yeah.
So a lot of, and I guess why it's different to consulting is it's not doing the doing, but it's helping facilitate the direction, which is what I really enjoy. So
Awesome.
So that's coaching. The business owners program. It's a 6-month program. People have probably heard about the owner manager program, which obviously the Icehouse is famous for, and it's a mini version of that for a smaller sized business. And so the business owners program started last year. Was immensely successful.
Great.
Runs over 6 months, and the small business owners meet once a month in a sort of workshop style. Come together once a month for 6 months. They learn things from, in this case, the presenters on the program, which was myself and a couple of others. So they're learning new skills, to take back to their businesses. But I think one of the main things they get out of it is they're actually networking with other business owners, and often they learn a lot about each other's businesses, and someone will have a problem and someone else has resolved it, and so they share a lot with each other, and
that's cool.
Really, really successful from that point of view. So looking to repeat that again in 2021.
Cool, exciting.
The young business owners program, to differentiate it, it's a shorter and a smaller program. It's a 3-month program where again the participants meet over sort of every 4 weeks. They come together for a half day, but it's designed for business owners aged 18 to 35.
Cool.
And really helping them sort of learn new skills and network and give them the support to be successful. And that kind of started didn't start by mistake or accident, but kind of came out of COVID opportunity when the Icehouse was selected, to deliver support to businesses with the Youth Business International and Google.org. I sort of put my hand up and said, hey, I'd love to do something with young business owners in the region.
Awesome.
And then had a conversation with the Eastern Bay of Plenty Chamber of Commerce, and together we kind of found people to go on that program, and again successful. So repeating that again, starting actually in a few weeks' time, mid to late February 2021, we'll go for the second Young Business Owners program, but this time in Tauranga. So
great, what a success! That's really, really cool, and cool that it sort of formed out of COVID and a partnership, and you took the opportunity, and it was a great success last year. So cool, great to hear more about it. On that note, so these programs are slightly different to the ones that we hold elsewhere. What do you think sort of the key sort of differences are to make them regional relevant? Because they are different to sort of the owner manager program and what we do in Auckland and South Island.
Yeah, look, it's a great question, because I don't think I've ever set out to say, I need to make a program that was different. But I think what does make it regional relevant is having local participants, and sometimes they may know each other or know of each other's business. So I think the participants help to make it sort of regional relevant.
Yeah, cool. That's great.
And a lot of the businesses obviously have similar challenges. So as I said earlier, they learn from each other, they learn from the program directors and so on. And in fact, I do hear many of them are staying connected after the program's kind of finished. So that ability to network and support and talk to each other afterwards is probably easier because of geography, if you like. they can
Yeah.
catch up for a coffee and so on.
Yeah, awesome.
But yeah, I think probably also, we invite local business owners and alumni of the Icehouse to come on and speak in these programs and share. So, we've involved quite a few speakers from the Greater Bay of Plenty region who are part of the Icehouse alumni to actually come and share their experience and come and talk with participants on these programs. So again, that's kind of making it local. Keeping it local.
Cool. Super relatable, which is cool.
Yeah.
And it's cool to hear what you're saying about how the networking is such gold, and because everyone sort of has similar pain points and problems, but being able to chat with other people that have been there, done that, or walking through it is really where the gold's at, which is cool. So that's cool to hear. So the Bay of Plenty Icehouse is officially into its second year operating. What has been a highlight and a low light of the first year in action?
Look, I think an obvious low light was COVID.
Yeah.
And I'd go so far to say the stress that it placed on so many business owners, particularly tough on people in tourism and hospitality. And I've worked in both sectors in the past year.
Yeah, massive. Yeah.
For us, in our sort of first full year of operation at the Icehouse, it forced us to cancel face-to-face workshops that we planned to deliver. So that was disappointing as well.
Yeah, totally.
But I think out of the adversity of COVID, it's also helped shape success. And through COVID, I've had the opportunity to meet lots of new clients, and I've worked with a bunch of different people who may not have chosen to work with the Icehouse if it hadn't been for COVID. So I guess that's a positive.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose one, highlight, and I think that was your question, sorry, Bryar.
That's good.
I'd say, actually successfully delivering the business owners program. So, getting to know, a group of business owners over that 6-month period coming out of COVID, helping them, obviously learning new skills, but redesigning their businesses to take themselves forward, and all of them got such exciting potential in the future. Just really that was a really cool thing for me, and one thing that I reflect on and say that was awesome to do.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome, supporting other businesses through it. That's cool. Okay, so back to the young business owner program. Why young business owner program, and why now? You mentioned it a little bit out of COVID, that it came out of COVID, but is anything else to add to that?
No, not really. I think, there's a lot of young business owners in the region to start with, so there's obvious need. And, a lot of those business owners are, really aspirational, and I think that's a good fit with the Icehouse and our values and what we stand for. So,
did you have a light bulb moment? Because it personally came from you going, oh, there's actually heaps of these young entrepreneurs in this area, or?
Look, I don't know if there was a light bulb moment, but certainly when the Icehouse was chosen to partner with Youth Business International to deliver, the support to young business owners, I was thinking, well, how do I tap into that for my region and for the Bay of Plenty? And I sort of thought about the Eastern Bay and talked to Lucy from the Eastern Bay of Plenty Chamber down there, and she was keen, and so between us we sort of put it together. But
awesome.
I guess it's relevant, in a lot of ways. A lot of the people that went through that program last year, find themselves running a business, but don't necessarily have, haven't been to university, or don't have formal business training and skills. So in some ways, we're able to share some knowledge and help them take their businesses forward, and I think that's great for the region. Yeah,
that's awesome. It's bringing the next generation up, which can only be a good thing, right? Getting some input into them from a younger age is really cool. So awesome. What is one piece of advice you'd give a business owner looking to grow in 2021? Another great big question from us.
Yeah, thanks, Bryar. And those people that know me would know that I'd struggle to give you one piece of advice, but I'll try and. Look, I know from my own experiences of running a small business, it's hard and it can certainly be lonely.
Yeah.
It's really easy to sort of get bogged down in the day-to-day. And yeah, I think right now though, if I think that, right now a lot of business owners are finding it hard to recruit new people. I know that might sound counterintuitive, but that's sort of what I'm hearing from my clients and people I'm working with. And they've got a couple of openings and they just can't get the people they're looking for, so they're holding out a few openings, and that has an impact.
Yeah, crazy.
So I think if I was giving a piece of advice, it's obviously focus on building your team's capability, developing your team culture, and then I know you asked for one.
No, you do you. Keep them coming.
But I think I think I'd also say to business owners, be honest about what you're good at, what you enjoy doing. Play to your strengths, and find if you can, find people to talk to. Because I know when I was a business owner, you didn't necessarily have someone to talk to. You didn't have a boss, and you didn't necessarily want to take it home with you always. So find people that you can be supported by and challenged and help you grow. And that could be from all sorts of areas, but reach out, put yourself in that environment, and I think that'll be really good for you.
Awesome. Find a community. That's cool. Some good gold there. Thanks, Jamie. Our last question, actually, and it's been good, great chat, is looking into Icehouse's second year in the Bay of Plenty, what does the future look like and what excites you the most?
Look, I think I read a few stats over the summer break around growth and that coming out of last year, and I certainly think the Bay of Plenty performed really well compared to some of the other regions, and I still believe that the future of the Icehouse and the wider Bay of Plenty looks incredibly exciting. We are literally only scratching the surface. I think probably in the last year and a bit that I've been doing this, we've engaged and worked with maybe 50 odd businesses in a formal sort of capacity. So so many more we could. But just probably mostly excited about continuing. I am working and continuing to work with a great bunch of local business owners. Those people are contributing really positively to this region, and they're taking their businesses forward, and awesome for the Icehouse to be a part of it. So really excited about that, and also obviously delivering more programs this year in the region is going to be really cool as well. Yeah,
cool. That's awesome. It's really cool. Thanks, Jamie. I really appreciate chatting with you and learning more about Bay of Plenty and your region. And it is an exciting time, like you said, just scratching the surface, just a year in, and so much more to come. So it's exciting days, that's for sure. So thank you. Appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thanks, Bryar.